Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to cover Christmas list. As you can see. He has returned to Trinidad and I see it fit to have a reaction on his return. As you guys know, 3 months ago he was arrested for sedition and was released. Uh, but has returned to Trinidad for his hearing. Um, I want to say one thing. One of the reasons for me covering this, it's because of his interview with Gary Griffith, who is the party leader of the NTA. And I think it's important that we as citizens of Trinidad get to see an outsider's view on um, the crime, the gang related, the gun related crimes that are occurring in Trinidad, especially murders. So I will just let him do his interview. I'm not going to cover the whole interview, but I'm going to cover some of it with Gary Griffith and then I'll give my feedback. Okay? Okay.
I'm sitting here with a gentleman that was most definitely the most requested on the channel. When I travel the world, I love to show every side of the story. It's an honor, Mr. Gary Griffith. And if you're from Trinidad, you already know who this gentleman is. Maybe you can, for those that don't know, a small list of your accomplishments.
Hi, good day to everyone. Tune in. My name is Gary Griffith, Gary Griffith Jr. I was previously the Commissioner of Police for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago from 2018 to 2021. Prior to that, I was also the Minister of National Security 2013 to 2015. Just before that, I was the National Security Advisor of the Trinidad and Tobago from 2010 to 2013. And before that, I was my introduction in law enforcement. I was a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force for 17 years, retiring at the rank of captain.
Wow, you look too young to have that long list of accomplishments.
There's a lot that I can actually do to fool people.
My next question is, it's got to take, don't take this as an insult, but it's got to take a somewhat of a crazy man to want the role or position that you want.
Throughout my whole life, even when I was at secondary school, my life has always been to see if I can try to help others, those persons who need that support. I hate bullies. I hate bullying. We even see the Prime Minister, he's the ultimate bully. But a bully is usually the biggest coward. That's why he can never confront me or face me or have even a conversation with me. That's why he was intimidated by the things that I was doing. I know there have been a lot of issues as it pertains to gang activity in this country.
Wow, he didn't wait. Oh my God, he's into it. He is a Rottweiler. Actually, he's biting and chewing him up. Yeah, he's chewing the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. If you guys don't know, Rowley is the current and present Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And there have been qualms, and there are people who are not too happy with how he is managing the country. I am too not too happy in things that I'm hearing, and it's disturbing. It's very disturbing seeing that where Trinidad has come from, being one of the wealthiest Caribbean island in the hemisphere, and then having to change around and be something similar to Venezuela is very atrocious. I am disheartened, and I'm happy to see that we have Gary Griffith standing up and doing his due diligence for the country of Trinidad and Tobago. So let's continue. I am only going to do about 15 minutes of this video, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to give my, as I said, let's get back. This is quite interesting. And man, He has me at hello.
One of the concerns always would be the abuse of power. One thing I tried my best as Commissioner of Police was to make sure, even though there was fear, FEAR, of Gary Griffith as a commissioner, they wanting that every single person, whether whichever side of the fence you're on, they will understand that there will also be fear, FAIR. And I think that is very critical. If it is that you are involved in law enforcement, even if that you have people on the other side of the fence, you need to make sure you do not abuse your authority. I did everything that I could possibly do, from implementing polygraph testing, drug testing, making sure that we can have police officers involved in me working with the police complaint authority, and being able to monitor police officers closely through even implementing body cameras that would have never been there before. Certain things that can measure their performance, make them accountable, and ensure that they will not abuse their authority, whilst at the same time, if they operate in the use of force policy, they can be protected to make sure that they will not be wrongfully accused.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking about the body cameras, when I went to these different neighborhoods, the common denominator over and over again is the fear of police. There hasn't been one community I went to in which they did not have a list of people that had died in it could have been a battle. It could have. I'm not there to judge, but I mean the common conversation is, why aren't those cameras not used? So maybe you can explain, is not the law here to have the camera working at all times?
Well, it is not law. So prior to me being Commissioner of Police, things pertaining to police officers being polygraph tested, of police officers being involved in drug testing, and the use of the body cameras, all that that never took place. I thought it was totally unacceptable, because these were basic systems that could measure performance and make police officers accountable, as I mentioned. Right. So immediately, I put in those systems for polygraph testing for police officers, drug testing, and then as it pertained to body cameras, I couldn't believe that. When I'm speaking about became commissioner in 2018. In 2018, police officers not having body cameras, immediately I was able to acquire over 1,000 body cameras, and that would be for over 7,000 police officers. That was more than enough that could have been provided, because you don't need a body camera for every police officer. The body cameras will be there, and we have 70 odd stations. You have 1,000 body cameras. It means that every single time police officers have to go on a patrol, a roadblock, issue a warrant, being involved in an operation, they can immediately make sure that they have those body cameras. And the body cameras, I did a massive campaign to train police officers to understand this is not a witch hunt to monitor you, but to make sure that you can actually be protected when wrongfully accused by persons. So, and it was a win-win situation. So what I did is I put a standard operational procedure in a departmental order. That SOP in that departmental order made it mandatory that the police officer must wear it.
Oh my God, he knows his stuff. I very knowledgeable. We do need someone who knows the ins and outs of the island, who knows the community like their backhand, who knows the ins and outs and things that are going on in Trinidad. We don't need someone who is ignorant or arrogant of the situation and is only there for. Okay? We need people who know what they're doing and love their country. You have to love your country, love your country to see it prosper, to see it succeed in community and especially in relations. I'm talking too much.
And again, unfortunately, because of stupid politics, because of the hierarchy of the police service being cowards and not being able to stand firm on certain things, every single thing that I would have put in as a commissioner of police, it was shut down, dismantled, removed, inclusive of the body cameras. So when you hear the nonsense now that the hierarchy of the police, they do not know why the police are not using it. There have been 30 police killings this year, and I'm not in any way to state that these police killings would have been not justified or whether the officers were right or wrong. But the body cameras should have been worn, and if the body cameras were worn, it means that anybody who will wrongfully accuse the officers will be protected. Right. And in the same manner, if the officers use excessive use of force, they will now be disciplined, because now we realize there was excessive use of force. So for them not using the body cameras, it's a lose-lose situation. I think it was totally unacceptable that the head of the Police Welfare Association can have the audacity to say that they do not have to give body camera footage or evidence in the PC. It's not mandatory. That those are the things that cause the problem. I made sure, like almost on a fortnightly basis, I would meet with the police complaint authority, and those are the type of concerns that would cause public trust and confidence in the police to yet again go down. Initially, when I became commissioner, it was 14% public trust and confidence. When I left, it was 59%. So from the lowest trust and confidence in any arm of the public service, it became the highest. Just a year after I left, it went back down to 8%. And it's because of things like this, where it is that the body camera is there, it's a departmental order. If the officers do not use it, then they should immediately be suspended. So they hear the hierarchy of the police stating, well, we do not know why they're not using it. It is because of your failure to understand your role and function and to not take disciplinary action because they are breaching mandatory departmental orders based on the standing orders that would have been published.
Yes. I'm a strong believer in reverse engineering success. Now, if it's worked in countless states, cities, and countries around the world, why would it not work to build the trust here in Trinidad? I've heard from every side. Again, I've heard from the guys with guns that they want the camera on, they want accountability. I've also heard from the police officers on the street saying that sometimes the battery doesn't work, sometimes the camera doesn't work, or the longevity of the battery is not equal to the length of time they're out on the road. A lot of parents will tell me Trinidad is sort of the cause for this increase in crime. Some people like to listen to it before committing a crime. I myself am not a strong believer that music is the reason. Roger Alexander said that he listens to Trinidad music and doesn't go commit a crime. But what are your thoughts? What role does this music play in Trinidad?
Well, let me tell you, my son, he was on the national football team, and he's traveled, he's been playing football for a couple of years in the United Kingdom. When he came back home, and I was commissioner of police, that police commissioner's residence was almost like an adoption agency. We had about 20 young men. The use of force policy, better policing, better communities, making sure young people have that opportunity to turn them away from a life of crime. It is a lot of work. But I mean, I worked 20 hours a day, 7 days a week when I was commissioner of police. I ended up in the hospital on 2 occasions. There were 43 death threats on myself. And on most occasions, the individuals who made the death threats, when we found them, they apologized. And I realized it was just, sometimes they use the screen to be big and bad. And I let every one of them know, hey, you can't do that. You cannot be going out there threatening people, showing a firearm, and just keeping it controlled. We can fix this country. I give the country the assurance that what this government has done by destroying what I did in 3 years, I can bring it back in 3 months, the day after general election.
When I was in Belize, I filmed very similar. Belize City is a lot smaller in population, 300,000 people, but crime is rampant, gangs rampant. After the first 2 weeks of me filming the gang members in the bad areas, the University of Miami reached out to me. They're sending a team of criminologists down. They want to have lunch with me to discuss my findings. Not because they were embarrassed of what I filmed, but they said, you're filming some information that we can actually utilize because we don't have the ability to go and talk to these gang members. I hope this conversation that we had can be educational, not only for the people of Trinidad, but for the world. And I'm definitely going to share the information on my future trips. So greatly appreciate your time and knowledge, and I can feel your passion.
So here's my 2 cents. I'm a Trini. Everybody who watched me probably are Trinidadians and Tobagonians. It's time for a change. I was very supportive of PNM because it's a family thing. We have supported PNM as long as I know, since I was born, and it's nothing wrong with them. It's just that I see that the country is not as prosperous, and I don't want to say anything more about it, but I believe that it's time for new blood, new leader, new party. I believe Gary Griffith can do it, the NTA, and I think we need a change. We need to see some changes. you know, and I believe that it's time. It's time. Uh, I think Christmas lists it's always have to take an outsider. With Trinidad, it the Trinidad like outsiders coming in. You know, they don't listen to their own. We quicker listen to an outsider than we listen to our own people, and that's sad. It's very sad. You know, it's very sad. But I am highly supportive with Gary Griffith, and I think to each his own. Let's see how it goes next year. I think they're not gonna call the elections. They haven't called given a date yet. And then some people are saying it might be a snap election. It might happen in November. It might happen in December, and 2025. So let's see how it goes. I think this is time for change. It's time for change. So I am going to leave my opinion right there. And great job, Christmas list. Great job. Um, who God bless, no man kiss. Bye.